This podcast is sponsored by Capital Blue Cross. For more than 80 years, Capital Blue has provided products and services that provide peace of mind and promote good health.
For every age and stage of life, Capital Blue Cross is here for you. For more information, go to capitalbluecross.com.
Well, Lyme disease is still a huge problem in this state, and you, my friend, are ticked off at Lyme disease.
What she said. And this is Chick to Chick.
As we were saying, Lyme disease is still a huge problem in Pennsylvania. We have more Lyme disease cases than any other state in the country. Ticks are everywhere, and there's this great myth that, it gets cold and the ticks go away. That is not true. They can still survive, and as I said, you're really ticked off for good reason at Lyme disease.
I absolutely am. So in my family, we've had to deal with it from multiple levels, and I knew nothing about it. I really did not understand. I knew it existed, but I had no idea what a simple tick bite could do to completely derail your life. And now I know more than, maybe not than I wish I did, but I know more than so many do.
Well, I think the thing about you is that your daughter was sick and you didn't just let it go. You fought for her, you advocated for her, and you tried to arm yourself with as much information and research that you possibly could. Now, the good news is that Sam has recovered from Lyme disease, and out of that situation, you've now turned this into a nonprofit. It's called, as your t-shirt says, Sam's Spoons Foundation, and I don't think a lot of people really realize what you're doing. So tell us what Sam Spoons is all about.
So you're right, Flor. In the effort to get Sam well, we had to spend a lot of money out of pocket, because if they tell you, just take a few days of an antibiotic and you'll be fine, well, some of you might be fine, but many of you may not be fine. And then you go on to continue to be sick, and then you're reaching into your own pocket to get well. So when we spent so much money out of pocket to get our daughter well, we said, wow, we're really lucky and we're really blessed to do that, but not everybody can do so. And so I decided to start a foundation, and our supreme purpose, why we have the mission we have, is because we want to be able to provide money to people so they can help pay for their treatments.
Because you said something, some people can take antibiotics and it works, but in a lot of cases, it doesn't work.
Right.
It didn't work for your Sam. She then went on to have these oxygen treatments that cost thousands of dollars. And I don't think people realize that a lot of this is not covered by insurance. In fact, very little is covered by insurance, anything that has to do with Lyme disease. So people can incur tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills.
Hundreds of thousands
of dollars in medical bills.
Because it can be not just for one family member, it can be for multiple family members. I have multiple family members actually who've been dealing with very different stages of Lyme. And while Samantha is recovered, there is no cure. And so there's a constant maintenance of keeping yourself well. Now, right now, she doesn't have to do those types of things, but many people do, just to be able to continue living the robust life they want to live.
All right, you don't just raise money for families to pay the bills. I know you have other programs going on, including Sock It to Lyme. So let's talk about that. What do you guys do with that?
So I came up to Sock It to Lyme because I like the idea of giving something tangible to a family, to a child, that shows them, if I use this, I can really prevent a tick bite. So if you can give them socks that have permethrin on them, which is a treatment that is not toxic for you at all, and it's going to render a tick completely helpless. It'll kill it off. So if you can put a sock on your child that is going to keep a tick off, you're going to really reduce the ability for a tick to bite you. So Sock It to Lyme, we provide to school-age children. And while we don't pay for it, we get other businesses to help to pay for that. And we work with a company called Insect Shield. And together we give these sock kits to kids.
And we've put together, I know,
literally we have
hundreds of socks that you've given out to how many schools now?
So we've given out to 5 different schools and to a local YMCA. And we do it ourselves. It's our committee.
We do. I help her.
She does. And it's a labor of love, but I know I know that when they're in the hands of children, then the parents become more aware, because in that little kit we give them what to look for, if a tick bites you, how to remove it, signs and symptoms, and where to find more information. So it really is an informational piece of material along with the socks.
And speaking of information, another really important thing that you do every year is TikTok.
Yeah.
And you provide a wealth of information during your TikToks. Talk to us about that.
So we had our 5th annual TikTok.
Wow.
This past spring, which I cannot believe we've had 5 of them. They really grew out of a need to understand more and know more in the Lyme and tick-borne disease community. I think I selfishly did it because I just wanted to learn so much more. And then I wanted to be able to provide that information to others. So every spring, we bring on a panel of doctors, researchers, authors, you name it. Anybody that year is really talking about interesting and great things. We have this free community event. Now, because of COVID, we've done it virtually, but maybe someday we'll be back in front of people. But it's a great way to learn so much about a disease that so many people don't understand.
Information is power. You do that every spring and every fall. One of my favorite things, you have a really fun fundraiser coming up. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's Wine with a Splash of Lyme. This came about because I was, doing a TV segment actually with a woman who was with a local winery. And I thought, what a cool way to do something to put some information out there about Lyme, make some money to give to people, and voila, Wine with a Splash of Lyme came up. And so we've been doing it every year, and it really is a blast. We raise money again for those grants to help people. And we have a great event. This year, we're having it October 8th at the West Shore Country Club in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. We have our band. I'm going to call them our house band because they keep coming back.
3 If by Creek.
They are
I love them.
So fantastic. I love them. Susquehanna Style, which is a wonderful magazine that supports us. And then we also have Nader Picks. But the point is to come with your wallet because it is a fundraiser. And again, you know that we do this grant program. It's so important.
So if people want to go to this event or they want to get tickets, where can they find that information?
So right now they can go to samspoons.org and you'll be able to go to Sam Spoons Foundation on our Facebook page. There's going to be billboards up, lots of information out in the central Pennsylvania area, but you'll be able to buy them on Eventbrite. And I just want to say, Flora, that because we've had such generosity in the past with our fundraisers, the first year we did it, we gave $10,000 in grant money. And during a COVID year, we gave $14,000 in grant money. So we have a goal of $20,000 this year in grant money. That's a lot of people that we can help.
I think you can do it.
I believe we can do it.
I love going to that event. I will be there with you this year.
Thank you.
It's just so nice to do wonderful things, to give back, and to help these families. I mean, you have educated me on this whole issue of Lyme disease, and I am certainly more vigilant when I go out. And I'm also checking the dog for ticks.
Always check your dogs.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might not think about that, but those little buggers get in the dog fur, and you really have to pay attention to that. So you have helped me. You have educated me. And I just think that information is power, and just educating ourselves on an issue can certainly help if your family is affected by this. And the other thing that people need to know about, if you do find a tick, whether you find it on yourself or you find it on your pet, you can find out if the if the tick is infected with Lyme. And let's talk about that.
I love it. I mean, you can really do this now.
I know, right?
There with me.
Right?
So what I love about our state, because unfortunately Pennsylvania is still number one, that's not the title that we wish we had, but ticklab.org, which is through East Stroudsburg University, their lab does an amazing job. If you remove a tick from yourself or a pet, you can send it into ticklab.org for free testing. And why this is really vital is because you can determine the level of illness that your tick has before you might even show signs of being sick. And that is really, really important. So once you're armed with that information, you can take it to your provider and say, hey, this is what's happening with the tick that bit me. I might not have gotten a bullseye because not everybody does, but I really think I need to be taking an antibiotic so that I don't get sick with whatever this tick just put into my body.
And it's free.
It's free. It's free. And it helps for the state of Pennsylvania to understand and gather data and information on where these ticks are, what kind of ticks, what they're carrying, and then it also helps the CDC. So all the way around, it is a very good thing. So do not ever throw your tick away.
Absolutely not. And this fundraiser is coming up.
Yeah.
I can't wait. And we certainly hope to see all of you at the fundraiser. And we hope to see you next week when we are back to chirp about another topic.